Ezra Collective, Dance, No One's Watching. This is the third studio album from the London Jazz Quintet. It's a big one in many ways, this album. It's their first album to hit the UK top 10. They've, of course, been nominated for 4 Brit Awards for this year, including Best Album, of course. So that makes this a big one in that respect. It follows 2022's Where I'm Meant to Be, which was a really good record. Showed off their ability to blend jazz with other genres and to create an atmosphere, to collaborate as well. I mean, Nao's on there, Koji Radical, Emily Sandé, Georgia Smith is on there uncredited, who they collaborated with on their first album. And yeah, it was a Mercury Prize winning album as well. And of course, they've started off this year well by being second in the BBC Sound of poll as well. But this album is a bit different. This is kind of an experience, as is all their records, but this one is about going out and enjoying yourself. It's split into 4 acts: the cloakroom, the dance, being in your element, and then lights on, time to go. And yeah, this is another very good record from these guys. They have crafted a specific theme here, and they've done it really well. So the first highlight of the record is Palm Wine, which sort of, and a lot of the tracks on the record do this, they like lure you in with like a bit of a sort of smoother, softer sound, and then they bring the energy halfway through. And this track does that. It lures you in with like this, as I say, quite tranquil Spanish guitar, the glockenspiel, the twinkling of the chimes, this blaring trumpet then comes in. That begins the descent into the more energetic, the more attention-grabbing part of the sound. It's very rhythmic, this one. It's got a bit of an Afrobeats influence on it, which a few of their tracks do. And I do like when jazz musicians blend other genres in. I think it's one of the good things about, I'm not going to say modern jazz, because I feel like other artists were probably doing this before. I am just somebody who is aware of like old school jazz and like new school jazz. But like this is something that like Nubia Garcia does, that Yusuf Days does. I like it. And it sets the stage for what's to come. And then the piano comes in halfway, very energetically played, and it's complemented by the electric guitar and the cymbals. They just bring a bit more energy to the track, and it's a nice sort of way of, as I say, luring you into proceedings. We then get the Act 1 skit, and we go straight into God Gave Me Feet for Dancing, featuring Yasmin Lacey. And that piano melody immediately hooks you in. You're like, okay, you've got my attention. Let's see what you've got to bring. And Lacey makes a reference here in the lyrics to the Nina Simone song Feeling Good. And this track is about feeling good. So that's a fair reference to make. She brings a very soulful delivery, kind of echoes. It's, I wouldn't say understated, but it's not taking centre stage. It's sort of another instrument in this collection of instruments that the quintet bring to the record. You know, there's the electric guitar, a saxophone comes in at one point just to add a little sprinkling on the sauce. And it's just about taking advantage of enjoying life, like just trying to forget about the worries and what's going on, and just, you know, God gave you feet for dancing, so use them. Yeah, it's not as I said, the theme of this record is about going to a dance and enjoying yourself. So the lyrics are not in any way massively thought-provoking. They're not essentially highlighting what you're trying to forget about or get away from. It's about being in the moment and enjoying that moment. And I think that it does very well. We then get Ajala, which is the surname of a Nigerian writer called Olabisi Ajala. Apologies if the pronunciation is shite. It's also Nigerian slang for someone who can't sit still, which makes sense. This is a record about dancing. It's a lot more energetic because we're sort of getting to this dancing stage of the record now, like the trumpet, the glockenspiel, the electric guitar, the xylophone. It's a very fast-paced melody. It's, you know, people are enjoying themselves, and a lot of the tracks do this on the record, but there's like sort of like background noise of a crowd sort of chiming, like you're in a jazz club late at night and you can hear sort of the mumbling voices of people talking to one another and enjoying the night. And again, it's got a bit of an Afrobeat influence. Nice track. We then get into Act 2, N29. I'm assuming a reference to where members of the group are from. I can't say for certain. This one feels a bit more ethereal, like time has slowed down, the instruments have slowed down, sort of you're getting into that point, that high point of the night, but you're not quite there yet. It's the guitar playing, it's a lot calmer, the xylophone is a lot calmer. It feels a bit more like a traditional jazz sound. Well, modern jazz, I should say. But it's nice. It feels different to the rest of the record. And it's, as I say, it's, you know, it's building up slowly towards that sort of high point of the night. And then we get another vocal cut, this time from Olivia Dean. I think she was nominated for the Mercury Prize the same year they were. You'll have to correct me on that one. But no one's watching me. Again, Olivia Dean brings a soulful delivery that's not there to take over. It's there. She's a good singer. She does what she needs to do. It's about, you know, people dancing, not worrying about their lives, not worrying about others. You know, she makes references to there being no phones and people just enjoying themselves. A sort of very 90s sort of dance, you could say. And the guitar playing's really melodic, the xylophone is, and there's a use of the trumpet to give the track a bit of energy. Again, a nice track here. It fits into the album's themes and the system of what it's trying to do. And yeah, another nice vocal contribution. Then we get Act 3. The energy has hit, the sort of the night is hitting its peak point. Hear Me Cry, it's a bit more energy. It's very bassy sounding and heavy sounding. It's not like dance music per se, but it's definitely like the most booming of the tracks on this record. The trumpets are like being played in sort of like a football style. You'll know what I mean when I hear it. The synthy keyboard. There's just a power and an energy to this track, and the trumpets are played to like the maximum. You can hear the trumpeter is going for it. And yeah, as I said, it's reaching the high point in the evening. This feels perfectly where it should be. And then we get the final vocal cut, which is Streets is Calling, featuring Moonchild Sonelli and Manifest. Bit of hip-hop influence here, you know, you got the drums, you've got the guitar bringing the rhythm, you got the chimes as well. It's got a bit more energy to this one. And at the start, you've got these like pitched down horns, which are mixed in with Manifest's energetic delivery, and both Manifest and Moonchild Sonelli bring that energy. The Streets is Calling, they're going out to enjoy the night. They don't care about other people, about what other people want, they're just there to enjoy themselves. And Moonchild Sonelli makes a reference to somebody's small, you know. That was a funny reference I found. But yeah, again, it fits in like with the themes of like the other singers and the record in general. But The Streets is Calling, it's almost time to go home. And then we get into Act 4, Why I Smile. Bit of a soul influence here, particularly with the way the piano is played. It's very mellow. Things are calming down. The night is coming to an end, you know, bringing the energy down a bit, getting people ready for going home. The guitar is very understated here. The trumpet is also slightly understated as well. and like they're showing off really. They're like playing the piano keys up and down, and yeah, it's got a bit of energy towards the middle and the end of the track, but things are calming down, and the final track is Everybody, which it feels like the closer. It's got a more melancholic sound to it, like, oh no, the night's coming to an end, and like you can hear people singing in the background, although it's pitched down very quietly. It's about the overall experience. It's about the people, but it's about the overall experience. The phone is sprinkled in there, it gets louder, it's the big closer, and then it quietens down at the end and drifts into nothing. And yeah, great closer to the record, I've got to say. So I really enjoy this record, I've got to say. There's no tracks on here that I don't like or feel like they don't fit in. I think my gripes with this record are that this doesn't feel massively different to what Ezra Collective has done before. I think with this one there is a bit more themes here, it feels a bit more structured, but I don't feel like they're doing anything here differently to what they've done before. I think it's a very good record. I think it's them using their tools and their skills and their wit and the vocalists in a very good way. They've got a few different sounds here and there. It's a very good record. I don't think it quite does enough for me to say, wow, this is one of the best jazz records ever. But it's really good at what it does, and it's a very good experience, and I think it does well that sort of theme of, you know, going on a night out and then, you know, dancing and the high point of the evening and then the evening closing. So yeah, for me, it's an 8 out of 10. Very good record. If you haven't checked this out, or Ezra Collective, go do so. I'd love to hear this in a live setting. Hopefully I will. I think they're at a festival in Birmingham. I need to make sure I'm there that day. But yeah, go listen to it.